When you think of the Pacific Northwest, what comes to mind? You'll likely picture lands managed by the National Park Service, U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, the U.S. Forest Service, Bureau of Land Management, and the Army Corps of Engineers. Together, these federal land management agencies, or FLMAs, manage approximately 73,000 square miles of land in Washington and Oregon, many of which are open to the public for hiking, boating, skiing, and other recreational activities.
Each year, millions of visitors travel from across the country and from even our own backyards to come and enjoy all that Oregon and Washington's federal lands have to offer. All of these visitors represent a mix of diverse backgrounds, different ages and income levels, and interests in a wide range of recreational activities.
These activities are important to the Pacific Northwest's economy, but public lands aren't just for recreation. They also support timber harvesting, mineral extraction, renewable energy, and more. All this contributes to the health of the Pacific Northwest's economy, supporting jobs and generating money for our communities.
We like to go hiking and camping, fishing.
Everything from skiing at Mount Bachelor on the Deschutes National Forest to kayaking on the Deschutes River.
I like to hike, especially with my dogs and my kids.
On occasion, I may ride my bicycle to these public lands.
I think I would probably use a bus system for some of the activities.
We drive our car just because it's really convenient with Brogan and we're comfortable.
Or maybe carpool if I'm going with another person.
Federal lands are important to the character and economy of the Pacific Northwest, and transportation systems help us get to these lands by driving, riding a bus, walking, biking, and boating. Different agencies own and manage the roads and trails that get us there, and each agency has their own process for planning and managing their transportation systems. However, the traveling public doesn't usually consider which agency manages roads and trails, so it's important for agencies to coordinate when planning their transportation systems to provide a seamless experience for visitors.
So it's through Western Federal Lands that they are engaged in a process with federal land management agencies to come up with a long-range collaborative plan for how we manage transportation access to and from public lands in both Oregon and Washington.
The development of the Pacific Northwest Collaborative Long-Range Transportation Plan begins with gathering and analyzing data that illustrate the current state of our transportation system. This results in recommendations and strategies to help us achieve our goals. The plan has established goals in the areas of fostering place-based collaboration, protecting the region's assets and resources, ensuring safety, and providing access and enhanced connectivity. Then, working with each federal land management agency, we can develop agency-specific plans that further help us meet our goals. The collaborative plan will not identify or prioritize projects or make decisions about funding. Instead, it provides the current status of the agencies in meeting a set of shared goals and strategies that will help them to achieve those goals in the future. The collaborative plan is developed by a core team with representatives from the federal lands, Washington and Oregon DOTs, the Washington County Road Administration Board, and the Oregon Association of Counties.
What I've noticed through this effort is a very effective process of bringing representatives from those primary federal agencies together and recognize much of what they have in common and the things that each of them do to provide service to visitors.
If you're interested in learning more, visit the project webpage at nwfedlandslrtp.org. Together, we can plan for a more seamless transportation system in the Pacific Northwest that increases access to community resources and supports local economies.
Bye! Bye, Brogan!
Say bye!
Bye!